And so what are some of the things that you're good at as an entrepreneur?
I'm good at selling a vision, and I think it's not even selling a vision because we live it and we show it even in the smallest of ways. Like when we were a teeny tiny company, like the way that we treated our customers, the way that we thought about social impact and giving back, even when we didn't have much to give. So I think I'm a good steward of like telling a story and building the vision and then actually living it. I'm great at brand partnerships, speaking of the Ben and Jerry's thing. And I think that is really still a function of just like doing the work. I hate to go back to like the work, but like doing the work of like building the impact so brands like Ben and Jerry's want to be a part of what you're building. I'm a great cheerleader and I'm a great like move stuff out of the way for my team. Like I think that's my biggest job is like set the vision for my team, give them the tools they need to succeed, and then like clear all the stuff out of their way so that they can go deliver. So I think I'm a good doer of that.
Do you think that you're a great storyteller? Because I think that you are.
I hadn't thought about it, but now that you say that, yes-ish. I say yes-ish because like I'm really just sharing my experiences.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that people don't think about sometimes or like don't appreciate sometimes. Like you going out and being yourself and telling your authentic story in the way that feels true to you is the magic.
It is. And I think there's a part of me for years in my own story, my own journey, where I want to tell the story. I want to tell very similar to your story, how we almost lost Walker and I created Grown because I created the thing that I wished existed. I was so frustrated with traditional fast food options. And there's this part of it that's like, but I don't want to always be out there. I mean, I know that I need to tell the story and I know I want to connect with people authentically and I want to build trust with my customers. And I want to explain to people why it's so important, why organic matters, why real food, single ingredient, nutrient dense foods literally are the thing that's going to actually change the world, because without it, we're not even going to be able to grow anything anymore. And I think, but there was also a part of me that's like, but I want it to be a standalone brand and I don't really want to be the face of the brand. But you can't do that in today's world.
No.
You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to share and to show up authentically, organically, who you are, and be willing to tell your story over and over and over again, because the truth is, people haven't heard it yet. And I know that's hard to believe, but this is one of the things why I said, do you think you're a great storyteller? Because anytime I've ever been around you, whether it's at the NFLPA or at pitch days or watching you speak or at Tory Burch or accepting awards, you are a change agent. You are. And you're a change maker, but you step into this role as Vivi's mom and as this creator founder that's put this thing on your back, and you own that.
And you too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And you too.
You do. And I think we needed this. We needed you. And so once you had the first product and you figured out how to make things, put things in boxes, make them shelf stable, do packaging, do branding, do marketing, how did you get into your first store? And how long did it take you to jump from your first store to a Series A with a major investor?
So I think that sometimes people overcomplicate like the build, like none of this, I want to say is like rocket science in terms of like, it was so not glamorous. We got our first pallet of cookies. We happened to live in a neighborhood that had a climate control storage unit, which was Kismet. And so then I literally received a pallet of cookies that I unloaded by hand. And then the next day I packed up the back of my SUV and I had printed some like sell sheets that I just made on my computer at home. And I drove to stores in Brooklyn, and to figure out what stores to go after, I just went to my competitors' like store locator on their website. And I was like, well, these people must like allergy friendly cookies. And I went and I said, here, I have this idea and I have this business and I have these cookies. And that's how I got into the first 50 stores that we got into.
And did you want
door
them
by door?
Try them for free? Or did you say, was it like a consignment thing? Like, I'll give you 10 boxes, see if you
No,
can
I
sell
needed
them?
them to pay for them cookies. They had to buy the cookies.
And tax.
They had to buy the cookies. But what I did say is, I'll come back and I'll do a demo tonight. I'll come back and do another one this weekend. I will help you sell these cookies. And I think as much as people may not have even believed in what I was doing, they appreciated the work and the hustle and the grit. And they were like, let me see how this plays out for this person. And so every single weekend for like a year at least, my husband, my daughter, and I, that's all we did was demos across stores in New York, like every single weekend. And so I think entrepreneurship is such a family experience.
Yeah.
Like people ask if my husband's my co-founder, not technically, but like everybody has to be down for the ride
Period.
for it to work.
Everybody has to help. And it's
Yes.
like, you don't even realize in which ways that your family, your kids, your parents, your siblings.
Yes.
because there are things that maybe you don't know how to do and you're like, hey, can you write this press release for me? And they're like, oh my God, you and your press releases. Yes, fine, I'll do it. But they do it. And I think a lot of times we forget that we are in community. People think like the founder story is very lonely. It is very lonely, but I don't think you can do it alone.
No, I agree. It takes a village. There's so many similarities between raising a child successfully and like building a business.
Oh yeah.